What does it mean to walk alone? Is it a sign of strength or an unseen burden? In a world where worth is often measured by the company we keep, solitude can be misunderstood as emptiness rather than a powerful choice. Yet, there is something deeply moving about the image of a woman walking alone, forging her path with quiet resilience. To walk alone is not to be abandoned, it is to embrace sacred stillness, where she listens not to the noise of others, but to the whispers of her own soul. In this silence, clarity begins to bloom. Without the distractions of the outside world, she can finally discern her own thoughts from borrowed beliefs. It is here, in solitude, that she uncovers a profound strength hidden beneath layers of expectation. True connection, like gold, is rare and precious, but not all that glitters holds real value. She knows this well. She does not chase shallow interactions to fill a void. Instead, she waits for bonds that resonate with honesty and meaning. And if those connections have not yet appeared, she does not despair. Her worth is not tied to the presence of others, but rooted in her recognition of her own value. Walking alone becomes an act of embracing individuality. Each step reminds her that she is not defined by the crowd's expectations, but by her distinct, unrepeatable essence. Solitude should not be mistaken for rejection. She does not turn away from community out of bitterness. Instead, she honors the rhythm of life, which moves between togetherness and withdrawal. There is a time to walk with others and a time to walk alone, and each serves its purpose. In her solitude, she finds space to reflect, to paint the canvas of her inner world without distractions. There is no applause to lift her, nor judgment to break her. Instead, she learns to sit with her emotions, allowing herself to feel deeply without needing validation. This is not isolation, it is empowerment. Each step she takes is a quiet victory, and every choice she makes without external approval strengthens her trust in herself. With time, this trust becomes unshakable confidence. Many confuse solitude with loneliness, yet they are worlds apart. Loneliness longs for others, while solitude seeks self-awareness. To walk alone requires courage in a society that glorifies constant interaction. But she knows that the ability to enjoy her own company is a rare gift. It allows her to value true friendship without clinging to it out of fear. When she chooses to share her journey, it is intentional and meaningful, not a distraction from emptiness. Without the noise of the world, she can ask the deeper questions that guide her path. What are her dreams? What truly drives her? In the quiet, these answers rise not from the approval of others, but from her own heart. Solitude becomes a fertile ground where creativity and purpose flourish. History is filled with stories of those who found their greatest inspiration in stillness. Like them, she learns that moments of silence can give rise to bold visions and inner strength. Whether she creates, reflects, or rests, her solitude is never wasted. It is where she becomes her truest self. In solitude, her understanding of friendship begins to shift. She no longer seeks validation from the masses or comfort from constant noise. Instead, she craves depth and authenticity. Time alone has taught her that true relationships cannot be rushed or built out of convenience. They must grow naturally from mutual respect and understanding. Because she no longer fears solitude, she chooses friendships from a place of wholeness, not neediness. The connections she builds uplift her rather than drain her, and she is no longer willing to sacrifice her peace for superficial bonds. This discernment strengthens her ability to set healthy boundaries. She has learned the power of saying no without guilt or fear of rejection. She no longer allows others to take more than she can give. This self-respect becomes the foundation of her relationships, allowing her to approach companionship with an open heart rather than one weighed down by expectations. True friendship, she understands, is not measured by the number of people in her life, but by the depth of connection she shares with a few. She rejects the idea that social status is defined by the size of her social circle. Instead, she finds joy in the meaningful conversations and rare moments of understanding with those who see her for who she truly is. When friendships do blossom, they are vibrant and enduring, because they are built on honesty, trust, and shared growth rather than convenience or obligation. Her time alone has shown her the importance of quality over quantity, and she no longer confuses proximity with connection. Walking alone has also taught her to see friendship in unexpected places. She finds it in the fleeting kindness of strangers, a shared smile with a passerby, or an unspoken bond with someone who briefly crosses her path. These moments remind her that connection exists in many forms and need not always last a lifetime to be meaningful. Yet, even as she treasures these encounters, she remains mindful. Her journey has made her wary of one-sided relationships that demand more than they give. She now treasures reciprocity and mutual respect, knowing that true companionship nurtures rather than depletes. Her time alone has made her aware of how important it is to protect her energy. She no longer entertains relationships that leave her feeling empty or misunderstood. Instead, she surrounds herself with those who value her individuality and respect her journey. This intentionality protects her from emotional exhaustion and allows her to grow without compromising her sense of self. When she chooses to walk alongside others, it is because they enrich her path, not because she needs them to complete it. The woman who walks alone does not view friendship as something that defines her worth, but as a shared journey where both people are free to grow. Her self-reliance has taught her that she is capable of facing life's challenges without needing constant reassurance from others. This independence has made her more discerning, yet it has also made her more compassionate. She knows the importance of being seen and understood, which allows her to show up for others without losing herself in the process. She understands that true belonging begins with belonging to herself. Her solitude has helped her rediscover her voice and honor her boundaries. She no longer seeks approval to feel valued. She is already enough. This confidence enriches not only her friendships, but her entire outlook on life. She understands that letting go of relationships that no longer align with her values is not an act of rejection, but a form of self-respect. Some paths must diverge, and she has learned to release them with grace. In solitude, her understanding of friendship transforms. No longer does she seek comfort in the approval of the crowd or the safety of large circles. Instead, she craves depth, honesty, and shared purpose. Time spent alone has taught her that meaningful friendships cannot be rushed or formed out of convenience. They must be built on mutual respect and trust. Because she does not seek friendship from a place of need, her connections are uplifting rather than draining. She has learned to choose carefully, knowing that not every door deserves to be opened and not every bond is meant to be kept. This discernment becomes a foundation of self-respect. It empowers her to say no to connections that demand too much while offering too little. She no longer fears that setting boundaries will leave her isolated. She knows they are necessary for her peace. By protecting her time and energy, she allows herself to grow without the weight of unhealthy attachments. When she walks alongside others, it is not because she feels incomplete, but because their presence enriches her life. She chooses her companions with intention, seeking those who nurture, challenge, and celebrate her individuality rather than suppress it. Walking alone has revealed to her that friendship takes many forms. It can be found in the kindness of strangers, the shared smile of a passerby, or the brief but meaningful exchanges that remind her of the interconnectedness of all people. She no longer confines friendship to the traditional mold of long-term bonds. She values even fleeting moments of genuine connection, knowing that they, too, can leave lasting impressions on the heart. Yet, she remains cautious. Her time alone has sharpened her awareness of one-sided relationships that take more than they give. She treasures reciprocity and mutual support, knowing that friendships rooted in respect are worth more than those formed from obligation or convenience. This wisdom has helped her build connections that inspire rather than exhaust her. It has also given her the courage to release bonds that no longer align with her growth. She understands that letting go is not an act of rejection, but an affirmation of her journey. By releasing what no longer serves her, she makes room for relationships that honor who she is becoming. Her solitude has also strengthened her ability to be her own confidant and source of joy. When she laughs, it is not to please others, but because she finds humor in the beauty of life. When she reflects, it is not to seek praise, but to understand herself more deeply. In this way, she has become her greatest source of encouragement, celebrating her victories and offering herself grace when she stumbles. This self-companionship frees her from the need to seek validation from others and allows her to approach relationships with a full heart. Because she knows how to stand strong in her solitude, she does not cling to others out of fear. Instead, she extends her hand from a place of wholeness, ready to give and receive without losing herself in the process. Her friendships are acts of shared generosity rather than transactions of need. She has discovered that true connection begins not with the desire to be completed by someone else, but with the confidence of being whole on her own. Her individuality, once seen as something to soften or hide, has become her compass, guiding her through a world that often pressures people to conform. Walking alone has given her the freedom to explore every layer of her identity without the noise of external expectations. Society tends to impose narrow definitions of who a woman should be, defining her worth by her relationships, her achievements, or her ability to fit into predefined roles. But she has learned to reject these limitations and embrace the beauty of her uniqueness. Her solitude has shown her that individuality is not a barrier to belonging, it is a source of strength and creativity. In solitude, she has uncovered passions she once silenced, dreams she once buried, and talents she never dared to cultivate. She no longer seeks permission to live authentically. She understands that her purpose cannot be dictated by what others expect of her, it must come from within. This realization has unlocked a confidence that fuels her every step. She has learned that failure is not the opposite of success, but a vital part of the journey. When she stumbles, she no longer sees it as defeat, but as an opportunity to rise stronger. Her solitude has sharpened her instincts and strengthened her intuition. The absence of constant feedback from others has taught her to listen to her inner voice, the quiet but steady compass that points her toward what is true for her. She no longer second-guesses herself, paralyzed by the fear of disappointing others. Instead, she trusts herself to make choices that align with her values and her vision. This trust in her intuition has made her resilient in the face of uncertainty. She knows that even when the path ahead is unclear, she carries the answers within her. Individuality is not just about self-expression, it is also about self-acceptance. She has faced her fears and insecurities in the quiet moments when no one else was watching. Solitude gave her the space to confront the parts of herself she once tried to hide. In doing so, she learned that her imperfections do not make her unworthy, they make her real. She now embraces both her strengths and her vulnerabilities, recognizing that they are essential pieces of who she is. This self-acceptance has become a foundation of inner peace, allowing her to approach life with authenticity and grace. Her commitment to individuality has also given her the freedom to create without fear of judgment. In solitude, her mind is free to wander, dream, and imagine without limits. Whether she expresses her creativity through art, writing, problem-solving, or simply in the way she lives her life, her unique perspective enriches the world around her. She no longer compares her journey to that of others, nor does she feel the need to fit into conventional molds. Instead, she honors the distinct path she is meant to walk, knowing that her authenticity adds something irreplaceable to the world. Her individuality has also deepened her empathy. By embracing her own complexity, she has learned to appreciate the uniqueness of others. She does not view differences as threats, but as reminders of the infinite variety of human experience. This awareness allows her to engage with others meaningfully, without losing her sense of self. She understands that honoring her individuality does not separate her from others, it strengthens her ability to connect. Her path has not been without challenges. There were moments when she felt the weight of expectations pressing in, tempting her to conform. But she recognized that this pressure came not from truth, but from fear, the fear of standing apart. By choosing to walk alone, She has shown that the courage to be oneself is a quiet revolution. Walking alone has also taught her to break free from the subtle trap of seeking validation. In a world that often equates self-worth with external approval, it is easy to fall into the habit of chasing praise and fearing criticism. But solitude has shown her that true confidence is built not on the shifting opinions of others, but on an unshakable recognition of her intrinsic value. She has learned that validation, though momentarily comforting, is fleeting and unreliable. Relying on it leaves one vulnerable to the ever-changing tides of public opinion. Instead, she has discovered the quiet power of self-assurance, the knowledge that she is enough, exactly as she is. She no longer feels the need to impress others to prove her worth. Instead of changing herself to fit the expectations of those around her, she now stands firm in her truth. This newfound freedom has given her the courage to take risks and to pursue goals that resonate deeply with her soul, even when they defy conventional wisdom. She understands that failure is not a reflection of inadequacy, but a necessary part of growth. Without the weight of needing others' approval, she can embrace her mistakes as stepping stones rather than setbacks. The absence of external validation has also deepened her capacity for self-compassion. In the quiet moments of solitude, she has learned to be her own source of encouragement. When she falters, she no longer berates herself with harsh words or comparisons. Instead, she offers herself the same kindness and grace she would extend to a friend. This self-compassion has become a wellspring of resilience, allowing her to recover more quickly from challenges and to approach life with a steady sense of peace. Solitude has taught her the importance of aligning her actions with her own values rather than with the expectations of others. She no longer makes decisions based on what will earn approval or avoid criticism. Instead, she asks herself, does this choice reflect who I am? Does it honor the life I want to build? By living in alignment with her true self, she has created a life that feels meaningful and authentic. This alignment has become her anchor, guiding her through life's uncertainties with confidence and clarity. Her journey of self-discovery has also helped her redefine what success means. She no longer measures her worth by accolades or the recognition of others. Instead, she finds fulfillment in the quiet victories, the moments when she overcomes her fears, honors her boundaries, and chooses herself despite the world's expectations. She has learned that success is not about reaching a destination defined by others, but about living each day with purpose and integrity. Walking alone has revealed to her that imperfection is not something to hide, but something to embrace. In solitude, there is no audience to perform for, no pressure to maintain a flawless facade. This freedom has allowed her to accept her flaws with humility and to celebrate her strengths with gratitude. By embracing her humanity, she has discovered that true confidence comes not from perfection, but from authenticity. She no longer seeks approval to validate her existence. She knows that her worth is inherent, unshaken by the opinions of others. Her solitude has strengthened her in ways that external affirmation never could. She has built a sanctuary within herself, a place of calm and certainty that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. In this inner sanctuary, she finds the courage to keep moving forward, trusting that her journey, though solitary at times, is unfolding exactly as it should. She understands that the path of self-discovery and self-love is not linear, but ever-evolving. And while she may walk alone, she knows she is never truly alone, for she is guided by her unwavering sense of purpose. If you've stayed with us until now, thank you for joining this reflection. Remember to like this video if it resonated with you, subscribe for more thoughtful content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters, and your journey is unique. Let's continue to walk our paths with courage, knowing that even in solitude, we are connected by our shared strength.